Welcome to the Business Smart Session podcast, brought to you by Pyrus.co. This is your go-to spot for practical tips, expert insights, and smart strategies to grow your business. Whether you're a startup founder, a seasoned entrepreneur, or just business curious, there's something here for you. Let's dive in.
If you're in the thick of real estate, wow, you're juggling a phenomenal amount. Seriously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're the client whisperer, the property tour guide, the master negotiator, and somehow also the marketing guru and the paperwork ninja.
Yeah.
It's a whirlwind.
It really is. And the one thing you can never get more of is time.
Exactly.
And that relentless pressure on your time, well, that's the core challenge, isn't it? I mean, every hour spent buried in admin details is an hour you're not actively building relationships or finding new opportunities or, crucially, closing those deals.
Yeah, the deals that actually fuel your business.
Yeah.
So for people looking to really break through, scale up their success, what's the strategic advantage?
Well, it often comes down to smart delegation,
Right.
leveraging the power of outsourcing to bring in targeted support.
Okay, so building like a lean, mean deal closing machine.
Precisely. Think of it that way. And in this deep dive, we're going to explore the practical ways you can strategically outsource key tasks, not just to free up your time, but to actually, amplify your effectiveness. We'll pinpoint the specific things that are really prime candidates for delegation and look at the tangible benefits this can bring: better efficiency, profitability.
Right.
The goal really is to give you a clear perspective on how outsourcing can relieve those daily pressures and let you laser focus on what truly drives your success.
Okay, sounds great. So when we talk about real estate pros offloading tasks, where do they usually see the most immediate impact? Like, where's the low-hanging fruit?
A very common area, and often it's transformative, is administrative support, usually through virtual assistants, real estate VAs.
Right, yes, VAs. You hear about them a lot.
You do. And their prevalence really speaks to the fundamental need for this kind of help. It just makes sense when you consider the sheer volume of day-to-day tasks involved in keeping a real estate business running smoothly.
Okay, so practically speaking, what do these VAs actually handle? What are they doing day to day?
Well, they essentially become your remote operational hub. So imagine having someone dedicated to managing your calls, that constant stream of emails.
The emails.
Right. And efficiently scheduling your property viewings, your client meetings. I mean, that alone can eat up hours.
Oh, for sure.
They're also invaluable in maintaining your online presence, making sure your MLS listings are always current, accurate property details, good photos.
Crucial.
And beyond that, they can tackle the essential, but let's be honest, often tedious work of preparing initial drafts of contracts, forms, meticulously entering and updating client data in your CRM system.
Which is so important for follow-up.
Absolutely. If it's done well, it becomes a powerful tool for future engagement. And just generally organizing your digital files, maybe even physical ones sometimes, so you can find critical info instantly. It's really about having a dedicated remote pro, making sure nothing falls through the cracks.
Okay, so it's like having a really efficient off-site executive assistant.
Yeah.
Keeping you organized so you can focus on the bigger picture stuff.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
That sounds like a foundational piece. Now, beyond the back office stuff, what about proactively drumming up new business?
Right, lead generation. And consistent prospecting. That's crucial. And it's another area where outsourcing can provide significant leverage.
Because it's so time-consuming, right?
It is. While it's essential for growth, the time investment needed for effective prospecting can be substantial. Time that, as you said, could be spent nurturing promising leads that are already further down the funnel.
So how does outsourcing help with that challenge?
Well, you can engage specialized services. Think call centers focused on real estate, or maybe dedicated lead generation firms.
Okay.
These places can take on that initial outreach, like following up on older inquiries that might still have potential, doing targeted outreach in specific neighborhoods, circle prospecting, and even handling the initial stages of qualifying leads and setting maybe preliminary appointments for you.
Ah, okay. So they do the initial sift.
Exactly. Think of it like that. They're sifting through the initial layers to find those people with genuine interest. That lets you concentrate your efforts where they're most likely to convert.
So they handle that first, often kind of repetitive outreach. And it's not just phone calls, is it? I imagine email comes into play.
Oh, absolutely not just calls. Many successful agents also outsource the creation and Importantly, the ongoing management of automated email and text message drip campaigns.
Right, the nurturing sequences.
Precisely. They're designed to keep you in regular contact with potential clients, providing value, subtly nurturing their interest over time. The goal is, when you do eventually talk directly, those prospects are already familiar with you, your services. They're warmer.
Makes them much more receptive, I bet.
Exactly. It's about warming up the audience before you even pick up the phone or meet them.
That makes a lot of strategic sense.
Mm.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Building your brand, making sure you stand out in what's often a really crowded market. That brings us to marketing and social media.
Absolutely vital, especially today in this digitally driven world. A compelling online presence, professional marketing materials. They're not optional anymore. They're essential for credibility, for visibility.
But creating and managing all that consistently, that can be a huge drain.
A significant drain on your time and energy, yeah.
So what parts of marketing and social media are sort of prime candidates for outsourcing? What are people typically handing off?
The possibilities are quite broad, actually. Think about creating high-quality marketing collateral flyers, brochures that really make your listings pop.
Yeah.
Outsourcing your social media management, having pros develop and schedule engaging content, maybe property features, client success stories, valuable market tips.
Things you know you should do but might not get around to.
Exactly. Running targeted ad campaigns, say on Facebook or Google, to reach specific groups of buyers or sellers. You can even outsource content creation, like informative blog posts or detailed neighborhood guides that position you as the local expert.
So by outsourcing this, you're not just freeing up your schedule, you could actually be elevating the quality and effectiveness of your marketing too.
Precisely. You gain access to specialized skills. Freelance graphic designers can create visually appealing stuff that reinforces your brand.
Wow.
Professional writers can craft compelling stories. Social media managers, they understand the nuances of each platform. They know the strategies to grow your following and engagement.
Right.
The main objective is just ensuring your brand stays consistently visible, appealing, trustworthy, without you having to become an expert in 5 different marketing disciplines yourself.
Okay, so let's say you've connected with a client, guided them through everything, and boom, you've reached that pivotal moment.
Yeah.
The deal's under contract. But that's often where a whole new set of really intricate tasks begins, isn't it?
Exactly right. That period between contract acceptance and the final closing. It's often just a flurry of detailed coordination, scheduling inspections, appraisals, constantly communicating with title companies, attorneys, and meticulously tracking and ensuring all the necessary paperwork is completed accurately, submitted on time.
Sounds like a minefield, honestly, ripe for delays and complications. How does outsourcing help navigate this critical stage?
This is really where the expertise of outsourced transaction coordinators, TCs, becomes invaluable. Many agents, many brokerages now delegate this entire process to specialists. Their primary focus is just ensuring a smooth, efficient closing.
Okay.
They act as your dedicated point person, proactively managing timelines, liaising with everyone involved, making sure every required document is in place, correctly executed.
So they're essentially the project managers for your deals, keeping everything on track.
That's an excellent analogy, yes. And the benefits are significant. A far smoother, less stressful closing experience.
Which clients love.
Which means happier clients and ultimately a better reputation for you. Fewer last-minute scrambles, fewer potential pitfalls, definitely appealing.
Absolutely. Now, real estate success also really hinges on understanding market dynamics, right? Staying ahead of the curve.
Oh, completely. To give informed advice, to spot opportunities for your clients, you need a solid grasp of comparable sales data. You need to understand emerging market trends, maybe pinpoint specific property types or investment opportunities.
But gathering and analyzing all that info, that's another time sink.
An incredible time sink, yes. Time that could definitely be better spent engaging with clients or actively chasing new listings.
So you could outsource the number crunching too.
You can. Outsourcing research and data analysis tasks can be a real competitive advantage. You could delegate compiling detailed reports on recent comps for a specific property, or analyzing the latest market trends in a target neighborhood.
Or even finding investment properties.
Yeah, generating comprehensive lists of potential investment properties, maybe complete with key financials like cap rates. The real value here is getting readily digestible, actionable insights. Maybe a clean spreadsheet or a concise report without you having to personally spend hours in the often tedious data collection and analysis process.
It's like having your own little market research team on call.
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, for those agents who also manage rental properties, I imagine their plates are even fuller.
They certainly face a unique set of demands, yeah. Property management involves just a constant stream of tasks.
Hmm.
And here, too, outsourcing can bring significant relief. Maybe using call centers to handle routine maintenance requests from tenants,
Yeah.
204/7 sometimes, or employing VAs to coordinate showings for vacant rentals.
Right.
Some agents even outsource more complex admin functions like rent collection or the initial stages of tenant screening to specialized external companies.
Wow. Okay. It really highlights how versatile outsourcing can be across the whole spectrum of real estate activities. So let's take a step back. What are the big picture overarching advantages agents typically see when they strategically embrace outsourcing?
The benefits are substantial, and they're often interconnected. Let's start with maybe the most important one, more quality time spent directly with clients.
The face time.
Exactly. Real estate thrives on relationships. By offloading those time-intensive admin and operational tasks, you unlock significant chunks of your day. Time to focus on what truly drives your business forward. Engaging with clients, doing showings, really understanding their needs, cultivating those referral networks.
Which leads to more deals.
Almost invariably, yes. More focused client interaction generally leads to a higher rate of successful transactions.
That makes total sense.
Mhm.
What about the money side? For a solo agent or maybe a small team, is it actually affordable?
It can be remarkably cost-effective, especially as a growth strategy. Think about the financial commitment of hiring a full-time admin assistant locally, or maybe a dedicated marketing person.
Right. Salary, benefits, overhead.
Exactly, it adds up quickly. Outsourced services, particularly VAs based in regions with maybe lower cost of living standards, often provide a far more economical way to get the support you need.
So cheaper than hiring locally.
Often, yes. For instance, the cost of a part-time VA might be just a small fraction of a full-time local salary, but the boost in your efficiency and productivity can be dramatic. This is especially good for solo agents or smaller teams who need help but maybe aren't ready for the full responsibilities of being an employer.
So you scale your capacity without a huge jump in overhead. What other key advantages are there?
Well, in the fast pace of real estate, consistency is just paramount. Even the most organized agent can sometimes struggle with consistent follow-up, right?
Oh, yeah. A website lead comes in when you're swamped.
Exactly. Or a follow-up call to an open house visitor gets delayed. Outsourced support can ensure these crucial follow-up tasks are handled promptly, reliably.
Keeping things moving.
Right. And this consistent communication can significantly improve your lead conversion rates and just lead to happier, more satisfied clients overall.
And the market isn't always predictable, is it? What about adjusting the level of support you need?
That's where the scalability of outsourcing really shines. It's a major asset. Real estate markets fluctuate, right? Busy seasons, slower times.
Mm-hmm.
During peak seasons, maybe you're juggling tons of listings, a surge in clients. Outsourcing gives you the flexibility to scale up your support as needed, increase your VA's hours, bring in extra freelance help for a big marketing push.
And then dialed it back.
Exactly. During slower periods, you can easily reduce those services to manage your expenses better. This adaptability means you're not locked into fixed costs when business slows, but you can quickly capitalize on opportunities when the market's hot.
Like a flexible workforce. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about tapping into skills you might not have yourself? Like, I'm great at negotiating, but maybe terrible at graphic design.
That's another huge advantage. You might be an exceptional negotiator, deep local market knowledge,
Yeah.
but maybe not a graphic design whiz or a digital marketing expert.
Guilty.
Right. Outsourcing lets you tap into specialized expertise. Need amazing brochures for a luxury listing? Hire a freelance graphic designer. Want to run a really targeted online ad campaign? Partner with a digital marketing specialist.
You get professional results without having to learn everything yourself.
Precisely. It enhances your brand, your marketing effectiveness, without you needing to become proficient in every single area.
And finally, something really crucial for long-term success, maybe sanity in this industry, work-life balance.
Oh, absolutely critical. Real estate can easily just take over your life if you're not careful.
Tell me about it.
By having reliable support, like imagine a VA in a different time zone, managing urgent emails that come in late, or prepping your schedule for the next day while you sleep.
Ah, that sounds nice.
Right. You can actually reclaim some personal time. Burnout is a huge risk in this profession. Agents feel pressure to be constantly on. Strategic outsourcing offers a path to work more efficiently, avoid getting bogged down in every minor task, and lets you recharge, spend time with family, build a more sustainable career.
These are all incredibly compelling reasons. Definitely makes you think. But I know some listeners might be wondering, okay, this sounds good, but how do you actually ensure the quality? How do you maintain control when you're handing tasks over to people you might not even meet face to face?
That's a perfectly valid concern, and it's crucial. Maintaining quality and control, it needs a proactive, structured approach. It doesn't just happen.
Okay, so what does that look like?
Firstly, you have to invest the time and effort upfront in properly onboarding and training your VA or your outsourced team. Even if they have experience, take the time. Clearly explain your specific processes, your priorities, give them resources, templates, scripts, FAQs.
Set them up for success, basically.
Exactly. That initial investment in setting clear expectations, providing the tools, it pays off massively as they get better at handling tasks exactly how you want them done.
Okay, foundation first. What about ongoing collaboration? Keeping everyone on the same page.
Using the right tech and setting up clear communication channels are essential. There's tons of great software out there for real estate workflows.
Like CRMs and things.
Yeah, transaction management software, maybe Trello or specialized platforms, lets you and your TC track deal progress in real time. Shared online calendars so your VA schedules accurately, avoids conflicts. CRMs accessible to both you and your support team keep client info central and communication clear. These tools are vital for keeping everyone aligned.
And security. Real estate deals involve sensitive info.
Hugely important. You're handling confidential client data, financials. It's imperative that any outsourced help signs a strong confidentiality agreement, non-negotiable.
Right.
And use secure methods for sharing documents, encrypted platforms, secure cloud storage with strict access controls. If you absolutely have to share logins, like for the MLS or email, use a reputable password manager. Grant access without actually revealing the password itself.
Smart. Setting clear boundaries around availability seems important too, especially with different time zones.
Undeniably, you need clearly defined working hours, expected turnaround times for different tasks, and clear protocols for how to handle urgent stuff outside those hours. If your VA is in a different time zone, really think about the implications. Do you need overlap? Or is it better if they work while you're offline? Plan it out.
And checking in regularly, making sure things are actually working.
Consistent communication is absolutely key to making it work long term. Schedule regular meetings or check-in calls, even brief ones, maybe 15-30 minutes weekly.
Okay.
It's a dedicated time to review tasks, troubleshoot problems, maybe reprioritize things, and just keep communication open. It also helps build that team feeling, makes your outsourced support feel integrated, committed.
These are all really practical, actionable strategies. Definitely helps demystify the control aspect. Now, let's maybe bring this to life. Can you share an example, paint a picture of how this works in the real world?
Sure. Let's consider a successful agent in a really competitive market. She found herself just increasingly overwhelmed. Business was growing, but she was drowning.
A good problem to have, but still a problem.
Exactly. She was spending evenings doing admin, updating listings, that kind of thing. Early mornings were consumed by just the logistics of scheduling tons of showings. She felt constantly behind, stressed, no time for strategy, or even just to breathe.
Sounds familiar to many, I'm sure.
So she made a strategic move, engaged a VA through a reputable firm. This VA was in a different time zone, which actually worked great.
How so?
Well, the VA could efficiently update her listings overnight, new photos, descriptions, all done. Coordinated showing appointments by managing calendars while the agent was maybe sleeping or prepping for her day. The VA even prepared initial draft emails for new web leads.
Wow, so the agent woke up to...
An organized schedule, essential follow-ups already drafted or handled. She could immediately focus on meeting clients, pursuing opportunities. Then later, she also outsourced her social media to a skilled freelancer who created engaging content, virtual tours, local highlights.
Okay, that sounds like a major shift in her daily reality. What were the actual results? Did it pay off?
Significantly. Over the next year, her sales volume increased dramatically. She effectively doubled her closed transactions.
Doubled. Wow.
Doubled. And importantly, she reported a huge decrease in her stress levels. She wasn't personally bogged down by every single detail anymore.
And the cost.
The combined cost of the VA and the social media freelancer. Easily covered, many times over, by the revenue from just a couple of those extra deals. A clear, substantial ROI. Plus, her reputation improved. She seemed incredibly responsive, professional, because she had that solid support team working behind the scenes.
That's a really powerful illustration of the potential impact. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the main takeaway, the key message you want our listeners to really grab onto?
I think the central message is this. For ambitious real estate professionals, outsourcing isn't just about, getting rid of annoying tasks. It's a strategic lever. A lever for significant growth and efficiency. By thoughtfully delegating admin to VAs, maybe lead gen or marketing to specialists, streamlining closings with TCs, you free yourself up. You concentrate on the high-value activities that directly make you money and build those lasting client relationships.
It's about working smarter, not just harder.
That's exactly it. Elevating your service, achieving greater success, potentially with less burnout.
It's about reclaiming your core focus, what you actually do best.
Precisely. But it's important to add, outsourcing isn't passive, right? It needs careful planning to find the right support. It needs a proactive approach to integrate them smoothly.
You still need to manage it.
You do. Clear communication, clear expectations, maintaining oversight, that's all still crucial. The goal is finding that sweet spot. Maximizing efficiency, leveraging specialized skills, but without losing that personal touch that's so vital for building trust and loyalty in this business.
Excellent points to keep in mind. So as you navigate your busy real estate world, constantly balancing all those responsibilities, here's maybe a final thought to really chew on. Identify just one specific area of your business, just one thing that consistently drains your time and your energy. Now imagine what it would actually feel like to have that entire function effectively handled by someone else, a trusted resource, completely off your plate, freeing you up to really focus on nurturing those critical client relationships and, ultimately closing more deals. What new possibilities, what new opportunities would that unlock for you and for your business? That's your deep dive for today. Until our next exploration.
You've been listening to the Business Smart Session Podcast, proudly sponsored by Pyrus.co. Until next time, stay sharp, stay smart, and keep building something great.